Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money. We like that. All in one place for totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your cellular telephone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else, those other places that podcasts are heard.
Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free, zero catch. We've been using it ever since we started How Long Gone. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel like having the option of turning off the Q&As and the polls on the user dashboard has really helped boost my creativity and take it to another level. I highly recommend giving it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Okay, Chris, Monday is here. Another great week has passed. Nothing bad is going on in the world at all. Life is great. How are you, Chris?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I'm luckily immune to all awfulness, so I'm just here getting mad about a Rakuten commercial I saw on TV this morning. But other than that, I'm the world's ills are not penetrating my brain trust.
You're not privileged. You're immune.
That's a good ad campaign for this podcast.
You're immuno-privileged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you saw a commercial for recruitment. Is that what you said?
No. Rakuten, it's basically like the Japanese Amazon.
I'm actually not familiar with this at all.
Well,
I thought they had Amazon in Japan.
I think they do, but Rakuten is where you can, I mean, it's a whole thing, but they did a commercial where a young woman sings a song that is to the beat of What a Man.
En Vogue's What a Man?
En Vogue's What a Man, but as you can probably tell, What a Man, it has a similar cadence to Rakuten.
Rakuten.
Yeah, exactly. So
what a mighty good digital retail outpost. I said, exactly. What a mighty.
Yeah, it's available on my Twitter account, but I also luckily I found the Vimeo that credits. I don't know if you've noticed this, but obviously we've gotten to a zone.
She's starting.
Shout out to our friends over at the other podcasts.
Shout out to our friends at the other podcasts.
Well, I don't want to give too much.
Other podcasts that might cover the Bravo network's exports more than we do. We're not necessarily on their team, but we're.
Shout out to Lara and Carrie. Those are our fucking shooters. I'm just kidding.
We're an ally.
But wait, what were we talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, what makes me mad? Yeah, credits. So the I've gotten to the point now where people are I mean, obviously you want to credit the people that are involved in your project, but I've recently seen people listing off 100 names, like tagging the PA on Instagram.
Got it.
And it just seems a little like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter what no harm, no foul, but it just seems a little ridiculous to me.
There's no harm, no foul, but It is clogging up my comment section feed when I need to scroll down and see, it's like when you do an indie film and you look at the credits and they're just thanking, the local coffee shop where you guys got scones at when you were on location in Boise.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if I need to hear all this. I'm more interested in the top 5 only. You know what I mean? Much like rappers. I want my top 5 dead or alive production crew only.
Right. Just the heavy hitters. I don't even like to see the art director on there because we all know art directors don't do shit.
I mean, that's a fake job, yeah.
We don't need to see bathrooms cleaned by Richard.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where it's getting. That's literally where it's going, and I don't know if that's necessary, but I guess.
And Richard is good, but it's like at a certain point you have to draw the line.
Well, unfortunately for us, this world is now only about credit. People don't even care about money. They just want credit on social media. It's the new I'll do it for trade.
Well, who's to blame for that? Is that created because credit is the only thing available to receive because nobody pays you shit for anything.
I think it's,
and at least with credit, you don't have to do a net 90 to receive it. That comes pretty quick.
Yeah, credit comes,
because I know you used to have a gripe with people who complain about like payment cycles on Instagram stories of just like,
well, it's just there's this whole thing now on the internet where people think that transparency is just the end all be all of human behavior. Publishing editors' emails and how to pitch stories and how much somebody pays me and this and that. It's just uncouth in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I also think that is the job. Like that's what you work towards is figuring out how to do these things. That's what takes all the time to learn.
Yeah.
I don't know why I would give that away for free just to be an ally to young people. I don't understand. Mm-hmm. I don't really get that. Like that is the job. Like having a network of people knowing how to communicate properly and then invoicing and waiting to get paid is literally that's the job. Why would I give that away for free? It makes no sense.
If you don't want to wait 90 days to receive your $300 check, go work a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
If you really are part of the freelance lifestyle, you have to learn
you better
that
be
sometime, and you might have to eat syrup sandwiches all through the month of May because those invoices ain't coming in, and that's what you signed up for.
Unfortunately, the Conde Nast payment portal is down during July. It's
always buggy in July.
If you need to eat, then you got to go over to the Vox network, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Honey, you needed to eat food. Oh, man.
Check out those Vox guys. Then they might have a little coin for you, or you could at least get some free pita chips in the community kitchen.
Yeah, it's part of not signing up to the dark side of Vox Media or something like that.
Exactly.
You get what you pay. You get the freedom in exchange for the lack of any money. Yeah, we do a photo shoot. You know who gets credited? Me.
yeah, exactly. Who's the talent? That's all I care about. I don't care who pushed the fucking button. We all know that's a scam too.
If you're the photographer and we're feeling generous that week, maybe we will tag the photographer. That's about it.
Yeah, it's when Jason's feeling good. When Jason's had a few martinis, maybe a couple CBD gummies, then he might credit you. If he's posting while drunk, then you might get credit. Depending
on how many martinis I've had will sort of dictate which camera emoji I use before your Instagram tag. Sometimes it'll be, yeah.
Well, because when you're talking about your life,
camera's flashing. Are we doing indoor, outdoor?
Yes.
Have we harnessed the powers of the magic hour where at that point the photographer can't really take too much credit because the big man upstairs is kind of doing most of the work?
That's a good point.
If you ask me, photography is all about lighting. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes when I say that.
This is a good idea, actually. I think we need to start crediting God for magic hour photos. I think that you can tag your assistant and your digital tech and your lighting tech, but I think you should tag at God, because when that light is setting over the horizon, especially out here in California, that can't be replicated with a few strobes. That's just not going to happen.
No, yeah. If Jesus Christ did if Jesus Christ did such a good job doing it, you can't really take any. I'm like, you could have the Dispo app and you could take a good photo. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good point.
It doesn't matter. I don't care how much selvage denim you had to sell to get your medium format Hasselblad. None of that matters. You could just be taking it with a fucking Samsung Galaxy Cobra Snake style, and you're going to get a great photo.
You're going to get a great photo, and I think that needs to be recognized in the photography community. I know you a lot of guys listen here. If we see a photo, taken at Magic Hour, we will have to report that to Instagram as offensive content. If we don't see that at God is tagged, then I have no other way but to kind of, because credit is it's erasure of talent.
Okay, well we have a good idea for our Instagram account that we're going to create to call out these people who are taking credit for the sun, for our solar system sun. And it's going to be called the Shade Room 2.0. And
I like where you're going with this. Yeah,
photography,
exactly.
Where light is also comes shadows. You know what I mean? And shadows create shade, and we're here to put those people on blast. Diet Prada style.
We're moving these shady photographers into the light. Like, you thought we were talking about Terry Richardson and Bruce Weber and Mario Testino, but we're not. We're talking about you little hobbyists, you little Instagram photographers taking pictures of these little models that are stealing credit from God, our Lord and Savior. And that's that again. And I think, Jason, I don't know, you could check, but I don't think @God is taken on Instagram, actually. So we should probably go ahead.
No, I know Bieber's been trying to buy it for a while, but he has not. None of the DMs have
Bieber,
been.
and unfortunately,
he's left on red.
Bieber also offered trade. He said, "I'll give you 100,000 worth of Drew House, and I'll tag you on Instagram." He didn't even offer money to buy the God. That's the bartering. That's the bartering system we're entering into here. When you get on the World Wide Web, it's scary. It's scary.
If you ask me, that's a pretty generous offer.
I mean, sooner than later, Jason, we're not going to be. I'm going to have to pull up my Instagram and show them the check at Bristol Farms to see if they'll let me just take the Fiji. Like, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I have no US dollars. My crypto wallet is empty, but I would like to share this check with you to show that I am a person of importance.
And I will not be posting this Fiji water on Grid, of course.
It's crazy.
I will, of course, share my analytics as a Blue Check member, but that's kind of where the buck is going to stop.
I'll forward. Who's your manager here? I know you're more of a bagger, so if you could just show me who your manager is here at Bristol Farms, I can send over.
Is there someone who doesn't wrangle the shopping carts that I could speak to?
Yeah, is there anybody I could talk to that's a little higher up here? But I think this is good. I think, again, we're uncovering yet another unrepresented group of people.
Yeah, it's time we take back photography back into the open arms of people like Terry Richardson or something like that, because he would show love. He would show his love and respect for God all the time back in the day. You know, when before social media, when you could shout out God, you would have to throw your camera in the air as soon as you've taken your last frame.
Yes, exactly.
Towards what? What does that symbolize? It's not just to be a dick. It's because, you know, the higher the Hasselblad, the closer to God.
Yeah, if the context touches the ground, the devil wins, and I think that is what is. That's something we all understand, because that on body flash could fall off.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna have a lot of problems. We're gonna have to be going to the Nippon Photo Clinic in Midtown, and no one, Jason, no one wants to do that. No one, not one person.
No. A fate worse than death. And to all of our listeners who don't know anything about photography or what we're talking about, I do apologize. And then to the listeners who understand all of this, you're welcome. This is a free podcast.
You're welcome. And just one quick aside before we finish, I think Terry, since Terry's in recovery, I think he understands what a higher power is, and that's maybe why. If you go back to those old issues of the Face and Index where Terry was shooting a lot, you do notice that God is sandwiching the credits between the stylist and the grooming team. So just, if you guys have access to that stuff, go ahead and check it out. But something to think about on this. When we podcast on the Lord's Day, it's hard not to think of the Lord Himself. I serve at the pleasure of God. Yeah, and I'm feeling extra close to higher power. I'm staring out, Jason, over this beautiful city of Los Angeles from the 8th floor of the Four Seasons Beverly Hills.
Ooh, he's on the 8th floor of the Four Seasons. How many floors does the Four Seasons Beverly Hills have?
I would say 12, maybe 13. I'm a little more. Luckily, as an American Express card member, I do receive some privileges, and I think one of those is a room that's not on the ground floor and also not on the floor of the pool where there's a lot of heavy foot traffic.
Yeah, you got a lot of wet, scrunched up towels in the hallway and stuff like that.
The problem with all hotels is that they allow children. Mm-hmm. Places like Las Vegas and Palm Springs, they have these non-children hotels or areas for whatever reason. But unfortunately, when you go to a regular major city, there's yesterday we're at the pool. I'm trying to finish, the New York Magazine, and there's these 3 fucking kids running around screaming and yelling, "Dad, shut the fuck up, man." You know what I mean? This is too expensive for there to be children.
I've noticed it a lot more during COVID, during quarantine in the summer months. You kind of, if you have a couple kids or, you have a dog, and before you would take a vacation to get away from these things. That's sort of the whole point of holiday. You drop the kids off at your parents' house.
Yes.
Whatever it is, and then you go down and you get your little time away, and now everyone is like, well, we need to bring Bryce along, and we need to bring miso and mochi as well, and I don't care if the dog shit cleanup fee is $500 a night.
Yeah, I have to get out
of here. It's worth
it.
Some people are able to read Blink with the clamoring of children running around, but I'm not one of those people.
No, when Gladwell's preaching, I need silence, and that is something that I can't say enough. But yeah, there's two. I mean, it's the disease in Los Angeles. I know we're seeing a spike in Delta.
What's the real problem?
Dogs and children. I mean, nothing ruins a good time more.
I noticed that a lot in Vegas specifically, which was more alarming. Like we would go like a little staycation, whatever, Santa Barbara, San Diego. Go to a nice hotel, and there would be some dogs, but it would be a chill vibe. Then there might be some kids, but there's a special kid pool area, and then there's an adult area. The adult area is obviously just kind of old people, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. But in Vegas, it doesn't really scream like, "Hey, bring your dog and bring your kid to Vegas." Like,
yeah, it's 110 degrees. Little Bryce is gonna fucking fry out there like an egg you cracked on the asphalt. If your kid's got to wear a shirt in the pool, then they got to stay home.
Yeah,
if the sun is too bright for your child to be exposed to it, and you have to put a shirt on your child to swim, and like a Tilly hat, they got to stay home.
And also, when I was at the pool in Vegas a few weeks ago, there's just straight up a guy alone walking around the pool with a full 150-pound German Shepherd on a harness, just walking around like you're not like no one's laying by the pool, no one's drinking, no one's dancing, no one's gambling, all this, like literally those are the only reasons to go to Las Vegas. And I'm like, what are you gonna do with this German Shepherd at a Las Vegas pool? Like, or do you think that women are gonna approach you and ask you questions about it, and then you're gonna end up fucking them in a hotel? What's going on?
No, you're going to ask the waitress for a bowl for water for your fucking dog when she's trying to serve up the fucking pina coladas to people who are actually paying customers. That's the problem. The dog can't tip.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Dogs and kids don't tip, therefore the servers do not care. Those chicken fingers, they drop them on the floor and they pick them up. They don't care. They don't care. They definitely don't care.
Yeah. I'm here to move bottles of 1942, not small ceramic containers full of hose water.
Yeah. And a hose HOSE, just to be clear. Vegas,
of course,
it's confusing. Vegas, it can be the spelling can get kind of confusing.
It's a desert. A lot of people don't remember that.
Yeah. Day Party Jason, though, I know the music selection here yesterday was also very interesting. It was a high energy. I heard at least 4 Dua Lipa songs.
Okay.
I did not hear, but I did notice, and this I haven't checked with the corporate office, but no DaBaby. Glaringly absent from the Four Seasons poolside playlist was pop rapper DaBaby. So I think he's, as well as being removed from the festival circuit, I think he's also been removed from the
even Dua Lipa Levitating remix.
What happens? Do they replace him with 21 Savage, or does the remix itself get taken away?
Yeah, we put somebody who's not problematic in there instead of DaBaby. 21 Savage.
We like murderers. He doesn't talk about HIV. He just kills people. It's a different. It's kind of an old school approach. And we here at the festival circuit, we appreciate that.
Well, I mean, Dua Lipa is exactly what I want to hear when I'm poolside.
I don't.
Hills.
I unfortunately want to hear.
They're not
going
to play Crosby, Stills, and Nash for you. You just have to get over that, Chris. You got to go stay in fucking J Tree, in some type of Airstream type of hotel thing if you want to hear some Chris music.
I don't sleep in trailers unless it's backstage at Coachella. Okay, let me make that very clear. I don't want to hear any music next to the pool. Like, that's the whole thing. I think that it should be, or it should at least be like turned down. It doesn't need to be like at a high volume. If you're going to play like obnoxious, pop music, I think it should be at a volume that is almost not noticeable. Do you disagree?
You just want just a little ambient noise, so it's not uncomfortable silence where you're left alone with your thoughts. But you don't need to be, of course, hammer blasted at 11:15 by Dipla's Essential Mix, Major Lazer.
Yeah, I don't need to look over and think I see the ghost of TJ on the decks.
No, but I mean, if TJ was DJing that party, I would play a tasteful blend of lo-fi beats to.
I looked over. I was sweating. I'm reading. I'm kind of falling in and out of sleep because of the heat, and I look over and I see I'm like, is that oh my God, I thought I saw the ghost of TJ. You had like a white zinc nose. You're wearing your district vision glasses. You're shirtless doing one of your silly little dances.
So this was you saw what a lot of people call a mirage in the desert community.
Yeah, I saw.
And you had to kind of you had to squint your eyes and rub them because you didn't believe what you saw.
I actually stood up and jumped in the pool.
Who's playing this Tame Impala edit?
Yeah, I had to jump in the pool to shake off, like to shock myself back into reality, and then ask if the avocado toast was gluten-free.
You ordered a side of smelling salts with your virgin mojito because I need to come back to planet Earth.
I'm sorry, guys. Look, I promise I'm not on drugs, but I swear that I'm seeing my podcast co-host shirtless DJing a Tame Impala edit. That's not him, right? You guys don't see that, right?
Yes, Mr. Black. So are you enjoying your time at the Beverly Hills Hotel? What room are you in?
No, Beverly Hills, Four Seasons, Beverly Hills.
Oh, sorry, Four Seasons. What room are you in?
We can't support the Beverly Hills Hotel. It is of course owned by the Sultan of Brunei, who's very problematic.
But you know what hotelier isn't problematic?
That's true. Yeah. Shout out to Andre Balaz. Thanks for listening.
Balaz, you've got blood on your hands.
We discovered that we were in very close proximity to the night market WeHo location.
Let's go.
Oh my God, it's so nice to not be in Silver Lake. It's crazy. Like it's just it's like a normal restaurant with good food and good service.
And great wine too. You wouldn't know that, but yeah.
No, but it's just, you know what I mean though? It's like not a shit show of people still wearing skinny jeans. It's like a normal it's like a normal restaurant, but it's right across from the Edition, which we've talked about in this podcast a lot.
Shout out to Ian Schrager.
Shout out to Schrager and Balaz, two of our kings. The crowd there is different. It's kind of like a little bit of like a Southern tourist vibe. Yeah, this hot guy strolled in wearing like a Southern restaurant merch tee with some, skinnies and some boots and like and had like a hot girlfriend with an accent. And I was like, damn, I feel at home. Are we in Charleston right now?
When I'm at the airport, I see a lot of guys who have that kind of vibe, but it's like the Orange County version where they're wearing a t-shirt by the brand Salt Crew. Have you seen Salt Crew before, Chris?
Yes, Jason. Luckily for both of us, Salt Crew crosses over to the southern fellas as well, because I think it's a lake life brand, correct?
I think it's more. No, I think it's more oceanic because salt water. It's more of a.
I know, but for some, yeah,
but it has lake energy for sure, but. I see a lot of it, and it's sort of like, how they'll say that like the Proud Boys are not alt-right, they're alt-lite, where it's kind of like we're dabbling in in this racism and fascism. It's not balls deep into it. I think the Salt Crew is a little bit of like, if you're too much of a pussy to wear the Blue Lives Matter Batman long sleeve, then you wear Salt Crew.
I'm more of a Punisher skull guy myself. I don't.
Yeah.
Batman's for children.
Pick your poison. But and every Salt Crew shirt will have, like someone's friend named Tyler drew like, some type of Pinterest, Etsy looking drawing of like a barracuda on a hook, and it'll have like a weird saying like the sea is for me, or like hook 'em if you got 'em, or something like that. And it has a little like, and all the people that wear it have like a certain energy to it, which is very much just like, I don't like immigrants type beat.
Salt Crew seems like the kind of guys who want a boat but can't afford a boat. That's what Salt Crew.
Exactly.
So they spent all their money on their truck, so they have to buy the Salt Crew decal, and unfortunately, they're not hauling a speedboat to Havasu this weekend. They might have a friend with one, or they might have to rent one, which is disgusting.
Who rents a boat? Yeah, they definitely have unless you're in Amalfi, of course. I mean, I'm not going to bring it all the way over there. The fucking.
Can you imagine being in the Amalfi Coast and getting on one of those like beautiful brown wood polished speedboats, and the captain's wearing a Salt Crew t-shirt? Buongiorno.
Yeah, on the 25-foot Chris Craft that costs $900,000. You got the Salt Crew shirt on. They're like, we have a guacamole and a cheap for you.
Reach into the Yeti and grab an Aperol Spritz. They're canned. That's a cool idea. Or like or maybe like the gondola driver in the full outfit,
yes.
but just
the Venetian black and white striped gondola with the red beret on. And he's got a pair of the flip flops that have a bottle opener on the bottom of the heel, and they have like, this is my tattoo. I have a whole sleeve of a octopus, and the octopus is a fighting. The octopus is in a battle with a blue whale.
I think we could be the architects of kind of like a Southern Italian water brand crossover is what we're uncovering here. Like we could maybe like almost a theme park kind of thing. We're the best of both worlds.
When you say water brand, you mean like a drinkable water thing or like sea,
I mean
like
a
water
sea-based.
You're not talking about like a liquid death.
No, I'm not talking about liquid death. I'm talking about like a you know, it's like you can order a seafood pasta,
yeah,
and the waiter has an Italian accent. And he's kind of hot, and he's wearing like D squared. But
yeah,
there's a baseball game on the TV in the restaurant. You know what I mean? And you can get a Budweiser or a Negroni, and it's, you know, and like instead of peanuts on the table, maybe there's like a selection of potato chips and macadamia nuts, the way they would do at an Italian aperitivo.
So you can get a tasteful $8 bowl of Cool Ranch Marcona almonds is kind of the vibe that you're talking about.
We could develop an entire Southern Italian. I don't mean the end of the boot. I mean like Southern America Italian combo, where the flavors collide. But then I think the opportunity to monetize on the merch side is pretty big, because I think there's a lot of great slogans from both sides. And also, from my understanding, Italians and Southern people share the same style of racism.
Yes.
So I think that maybe I didn't even think about that until now. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
I guess the difference is over there they're into football, which is what they call soccer over there. Whereas you're going to have to figure out a way to bridge the gap between watching, you know, FC Barcelona versus, you know, whatever, the Sicily quarterfinal, instead of like the Ole Miss women's softball game on ESPN Ocho. That's kind of what this crowd's going to want to watch.
Luckily, I think that the passion for sport, whether it be SEC football or Champions League, is the energy is there, right?
Now you're really, and this is what Ted Lasso is all about. When you think about it, Chris,
fuck Ted Lasso.
You just Ted Lasso. It's so hard right now.
Well, I've never seen Ted Lasso, nor will never see it. Just like Dave.
I know, but I just think it's fun how you stumbled upon the Lasso philosophy.
Apple TV Plus owes me so many fucking checks for stolen ideas. It's just another one. And Sudeikis knows what he did.
And I know what he did too. And we you know, I'm not going to bring that up. I'm not going to dig up those old bones.
Well, I mean, unfortunately for Sudeikis, honestly,
those old Branzino bones.
I'm very happy for Sudeikis that he's got a fucking giant hit TV show, because if my ex was fucking Harry Styles, I would be absolutely looking to jump off this balcony at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing worse that could happen to you than your ex taking up with Harry Styles. Nothing worse.
Diamonds are made with pressure, Chris, and he needed Wild to bounce for him to make,
Jason,
something gold like Lasso.
I don't know if you're new to Hollywood, Jason, but I bet Ted Lasso is in development for 5 years.
Oh, 100%.
You know, so I think that the timing of its release and subsequent success because of America's stupidity is a beautiful thing for Sudeikis, and I'm happy to see him thriving, because actually I have no beef with Sudeikis.
Sure you don't, Chris. And also, I mean, there are some plus sides, because like I know you're never going to watch it, but you know, in terms of things that will please Chris, you know, he's probably, you know, into a lot of similar music as you, so he's putting a lot of scratch in the pockets of a lot of Chris bands. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Wilco is getting a little $75,000 check because of him.
I don't believe that. I think Sudeikis is more of like a Maroon 5.
No, he has good taste in music. I've heard.
I've never heard that. Well, Sudeikis,
he's probably like got a Yola Tango B-side.
That'd be cool.
On episode, season 2, episode 4.
He does look like a guy who went to college, so maybe he discovered some college rock somewhere in his life.
And they'll throw in some British greats as well. I'm not going to talk about Ted Lasso anymore, but they're probably have a little bit of manic street preachers in there or something.
Ted Lasso does not have the manic street preachers in a scene.
No, the whole entire show is about Britain and
no, I know, but
and British culture. They play a lot of music like that in there.
But manic street preachers is even a deep dive, even for me, even for Sudeikis.
Not me. I'm really about this shit.
Okay. Unfortunately, they do suck. So I mean, it's no big deal. But that's fine. That's not my problem, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to work on this. We got to get this concept off the ground. I think that this is something we could really monetize, and I feel like if we could get a boat sponsor, that really pushes over the edge.
We'll get Bass Pro on the horn. See what they could wrangle up.
You already have a truck. You already have a truck. Although it's like a bitch size, I think we could still haul something with it.
It's not a bitch size. It's nice. It's mid size. Come on, bro.
It's a bitch size, bro. I'm happy for you because it's a city truck. You know what I mean? You're not trying to. What's that thing they did to you in Orange County where they blow smoke at you? What's that called?
Rolling coal. I think it might be.
Yeah. I need you to get a truck that can do that before I'm driving it.
I think it's called rolling coal, is the practice of modifying a diesel engine to increase the amount of fuel entering the engine to emit large amounts of black, sooty exhaust fumes.
Yeah, we need an F350 dually, preferably black with obviously with the Blue Lives Matter sticker in the left bottom corner of the back windshield.
Yeah, I just actually looked up some Ted Lasso music. There's a lot. I mean, we got Lizzo on here. We got The Jam.
Fuck Lizzo.
We got Elastica, Kylie Minogue. We got Mumford and Sons. We got Vampy Weeks. We got Bowie, British Sea Power. We got a lot of Chris hits in here.
None of these are Chris hits, bro. None of these are Chris hits. You love Lizzo because you want to beat Lizzo beating. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when you say Lizzo beating, you mean something different.
Mm-hmm. I will gladly get punished.
And then, I mean, British Sea Power is one of those bands that like could have made it into the CD wallet, but it was because it was on sale.
Yeah, nobody's really fucking with British Sea Power.
That's an interesting choice, though. But
it is. But yeah, this is. Even though I did a decent amount of drinking this weekend, I'm not feeling hungover at all, and I'm a little. I feel like I've let you down as a podcast host, Chris. I'm sorry.
You have let me down, but that's kind of what you do. I'm kind of used to that, and I've learned to Euro step through it, and I'm surviving. It's not a big deal for me. I mean, you didn't get twisted on a Saturday night in Glendale?
No, we went and got some Peking duck in San Gabriel Valley, which was bomb, and I had a Budweiser on draft and a couple
nice.
Maybe a glass and a half of some natural wine. Shout outs to a listener, friend of the show, King State. He sent over a bottle.
Oh, is it a bring your own situation?
There's a $15 corkage fee. The wine selection at this place, believe it or not, was not super great.
That's crazy.
But yeah, they allowed me to cook. But let me tell you, Peking duck and a nice chilled red, that's a special treat.
That sounds good.
You ever had a Peking duck over at Mr. Chow, Chris?
That sounds good to me, and I've never had either of those things in my entire life. So
there's nothing like eating copious amounts of rich, collagen dense game meat fat to kind of get the sexual juices flowing. I know the
only thing I want collagen rich are my cheeks, baby. So you keep. Maybe that will help. Well, I
mean, some of it went to my nether regions, and some of it went to my cheeks. But yeah, there was I think it was like an old SNL like Will Ferrell skit where there was like the two guys in like the hotel jacuzzi, and then Will Ferrell and his like partner would be like super extra horny. They're like the horny guys in the hotel jacuzzi that were like crossing the line, and he would always talk about eating like exotic game meats like the fat of like a pheasant or elk, like searing through his veins, turning him into a sexual beast. And I felt a little bit of that last night. I thought it was just something for the bit that Will Ferrell introduced, but I think it's a real thing. And I think Joe Rogan, in his style of gorilla fucking, I think that comes into play as well.
Damn, can you imagine being?
You ever do some Joe Rogan style gorilla fucking?
Can you imagine being Joe Rogan's wife and having to look up and see that? That's fucking crazy, bro. That motherfucker looks like a sweaty meatball.
The fanny pack is filled with ostrich jerky in case he needs to fuel up when he's... Because, Big Joe goes rounds. Big Joe goes rounds. Like Chris Breezy, like Ursher. He's not one take Jay.
Big Joe's tearing up his wife for 3 hours and he's got to take ostrich jerky breaks.
Yeah, butt naked with the fanny on, and it was. He has a Heritage Arc'teryx fanny pack on as well. I'm like, heads don't got these, bro.
He's got so next to the bed, instead of a classic glass of water, he's just got a ladder pre-workout that he sips from intermittently, and when he really feeling worn down, he rips into the jerky, Macho Man Randy Savage style.
It doesn't matter how you get the ball over the line, as long as we'll count it as a W. That's what I said.
Do they sell ostrich jerky on onit.com?
I don't think so. I like to. You might have to hit the Larchmont Farmers Market for something that artisan.
What does his wife look like? I've never even thought about this.
I have no idea. I'm sure it could be looked up, but I don't think anyone even bothered to care.
Well, guess what, Jason?
I mean, because I'm kind of curious about it, but I don't think anyone has really ever looked. Should we take a look?
I got time today.
Her name is Jessica Ditzel.
Damn, her name literally has dits in it. That's what you got to be to marry Joe Rogan. That's crazy. Former cocktail waitress. Classic.
Former cocktail waitress. What does Joe Rogan's wife do?
Okay.
She's more than just Joe Rogan's wife. She's a TV producer and a model.
Was she modeling fillers?
I'm checking her out. She's got about 4 inches on Joe Rogan in the height department. She's not so bad,
No, she's not. She's not. Absolutely not.
She kind of looks like.
She looks like looks like Rachel Yucatel.
She's got a little Caitlyn Jenner in her as well.
I think everybody's starting to look alike.
She's kind of like if Caitlyn Jenner and Jessica Biel. Not bad, Joe. Good way to go. And all of us guerrilla podcasters need a woman like this to bring us back down to planet Earth. Even you, Chris.
Rogan comes up too much. Like, I hear about Rogan every fucking day.
I know. And we're part of the problem, but...
No, we're absolutely part of the problem, but I feel like it's truly on the tip of America's tongue. And there's nothing that can be done. Because he knows how to fan the flames. Every week on his 4-hour podcast, he says something that just cannot be ignored.
It's kind of like when Trump was in office, if you're a political journalist or reporter, how do you not talk about
how do you avoid
this person that is just the biggest...
Yeah. If you're the Hot Pod newsletter, how do you not talk about Rogan?
Shout out to the Hot Pod newsletter. And also, just as obviously... can disagree with almost everything that he has to say, but in terms of a podcasting business model, it's something to pay attention to if you're trying to create a lucrative career in this business. Learn from his mistakes, etc.
My goal in this business, Jason, is to be so rich that we have to move to a shitty state to avoid taxes.
Is it going to be Vegas? Where are you going to go? Florida? I'm going to Miami.
Yeah, I'm more of a Florida cat. I'm not. Vegas is just. I don't get it. You know what I mean? I just don't get. Living there seems so insane to me. Whereas living in Florida, and maybe it's because I'm from Georgia, living in Florida seems less crazy.
Yeah, you're no stranger to the Florida-Georgia line and how that all intersects. Well, speaking of Joe Rogan, did you see what my Proud Boys have done this weekend?
Yeah, I saw the video that was getting passed around, and it looked just like a old-fashioned street fight in downtown LA. Like, I couldn't tell who was who and what was what. I don't know if pro-mask people are going to fight, and who was fighting? Obviously, the Proud Boys, anti-mask, etc. But who are they fighting? Antifa?
It was the anti-fascist versus the fascist.
Classic showdown. This sounds like CBGBs to me. So why is it happening in downtown LA?
Somebody, I think maybe Proud Boys were protesting the fact that California was talking about instating some type of vaccination mandate, and they were fighting against that by trying to punch KTLA reporters and stab people with box cutters. I think that's the Orange County syndrome. I know a lot of people growing up in Orange County who were my parents are immigrants who came here illegally, and I don't believe in immigration, and I want to stab Mexicans, even though I'm Mexican.
No, that's dark as hell. I mean, this whole thing is pretty dark and unbelievable. I mean, it's just because what I've actually been interested in this week is that Charlemagne the God, a leader in the black community, is not vaccinated and is refusing to get vaccinated and claiming he's not anti-vax. He just wants to wait until it's FDA approved and to see what it does to other people.
Sure.
He's constantly rewarded for using his platform for good to talk about mental health or whatever other dumb shit he thinks he's an expert in. But he's literally telling millions of people that are dumb. Basically, he doesn't have to say I'm anti-vax for them to read that as don't get vaccinated. To me, it's implied. I whether it's intended or not intended.
And I think not to bring up Rogan again, but he had a lot of the same same speech early on of saying like, I don't need to get vaccinated because I'm healthy. And I think, that's a common Chris Black trope as well.
No. Well, I wish it was, but I mean, I don't. I just don't.
I don't know. I don't know if Charlemagne is as healthy though.
I don't think he is.
But I mean, it's fair to say. It's fair to say like I it's weird. I don't trust it. I would like to wait and to see what happens because I'm afraid of something bad happening to me. That's fair.
It's totally fair. But I just don't think that you can. I don't think that it's like wrong to say. I just think that this guy is so celebrated for being a leader.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised there's not more pressure on him to either explain himself a little better or like get negative backlash like everyone else. Like if anybody else says that, they get fucking killed.
He has a big enough platform that people should be taking note of the power that he can have with his words compared to
I just don't know why he I get killed for making a joke about it. He's literally saying this for real on a podcast that has millions and millions of listeners. Like Rogan gets killed for it. Rogan gets killed for it. I don't understand why he's not getting killed for it. Especially when the black community has been fucked by the, you know what I mean? Like overwhelmingly fucked by this country with medical, care over the years. They're already resistant to it because of the past, injustices.
Yeah.
So it's extra crazy.
They have a lot more reason to be
to not
be
do
weary
it, to
and
not
dubious
trust.
Of the intentions
100%.
of what's going into your arm with a needle. Of course, and that's something that's probably in the back of everyone's head. But at a certain point, what are you really going to do about it? You're gonna, the most you can do about it is become, weaponized and take it to the streets. And, you and your 17 friends will try to fight some reporters and, that's about it unless you really, pull out your AR-15s and start taking back the country and, blowing up hospitals or whatever. Like nothing's really going to move the needle. I'm not saying that people should do that.
Well, it sounds like you are, but that's fine. His reasoning is also like, I don't go anywhere. That's my favorite. I don't go anywhere. I take my Escalade to the radio studio, record my show and go. It's like, yeah, I mean, sure. Like I get all that, but it just seems crazy. Like I'm skeptical of everything, but if it's for the greater good of humanity, I can probably take the risk. If I don't have to ever enter a password again, I would love that. So if that's because I forget a lot, Jason. So if the microchip can
hates a password,
yeah. If a microchip can help with that, then I think that's something that we should look into, and hopefully mine is already there. I didn't.
Listeners at home, let's do a new game. Maybe this is a game that we can play on our live shows. Is guess Chris's password live in the crowd. First person to guess Chris's Chase login wins a free T-shirt. But you have to promise that you don't move any money around, all right?
Yeah, you actually hear
no Zelle.
The T-shirt is not free. You get to pay for it with money from my account that you hacked. That's the deal. But that's it. 35 only. Actually, maybe 40. Maybe 40. I don't know.
Well, you got to cover shipping. Yeah. Speaking of tour, we sold out Bowery Ballroom in New York, which is pretty cool. A lot of your little bands can't do that.
Yeah, a lot of your little bands, their little backpack rappers you guys like, they can't do that.
Me as a DJ could also not ever seem to do that as well.
Yeah, but it is very exciting. Bowery Ballroom is sold out. Rebounder is playing with us. We will be adding some guests as we see fit. If you can't go to New York, like I said to someone on Twitter, you better check the Acela prices because Boston and Philly will sell out, and they are in the local area. And what says fun more than hopping on a train with a few of your friends and a couple IPAs and bags and heading over to beautiful Philadelphia to catch How Long Gone live with Rebounder and John Carmonica. I don't even know where we're playing in Philadelphia, but I know it smells bad, and there's a lot of bike locks outside.
I'm sure you're getting a lot of DMs of like people in Philly telling you to watch your back and stuff like that. Is that kind of happening for you? Because I'm getting that. Like your boy Chris, he it's not sweet for him in Philadelphia.
I already checked in with my boy Rockefeller legend Beanie Siegel, and he's got my back.
If you're good money with beans, you can go anywhere.
I'm good with beans
over there.
And I'll say fuck Questlove on stage. We'll see what happens. When you throw a hoagie at me, what are you gonna do? Throw a hoagie?
He's gonna do an ill-tempered jazz fill. In your
your boy,
general direction, Chris.
Yeah, your boy Black Thought's too busy playing patty cake with Jimmy Fallon to pull up on me.
You got to film a Tekashi 6ix9ine style video where he goes to O Block. you in Philly, and you go call out Questlove. You're right on the corner. You have a bottle of E&J with a bandana wrapped around it. You're sitting on top of a mailbox on MLK and 124th Street in Philly. I don't know if those are real streets. And you're calling everybody out. You're like, yo, I'm good on your block. Come see me.
Come see me, loser. Bring your
We'll go straight to World Star.
Yeah, put on your little Lego bow tie and come see me, dog. We'll see. It ain't sweet. It ain't sweet for you in Philadelphia.
The Lego bow tie.
If I'm here, it ain't sweet for you, Questlove. Let's see what you can do. My man Jason will smoke you in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I'll smoke you on the kit, your little 3-piece. Like, I don't need your little jazz kit.
I will blend this Justice Ed Banger Mastercraft remix way better than you'll be able to on your little Serato where you have to sit down to use it. I'll blast you on the CDJs. Chris will blast you on the 3-piece jazz kit. I will make a better set of honey butter biscuits in the kitchen than you.
That's right.
I'll get Allison Roman over there. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want TJ and Allison Roman versus Questlove and a guest of his choosing. That's what I want on stage in Philadelphia. I got Roman.
Who is he going to bring out? Who does Questlove? Who does
he bang with?
Partner?
I think he's pretty connected in the food world.
We'll probably get Martha out there or something like that.
Yeah, but no, Martha bangs with Snoop, and I think they're rival gangs, so I don't think that could happen. So I think maybe it could be Bobby Flay. You know what I'm saying, or someone like that. you think Tom Colicchio is coming through?
No, yeah, it's Roman versus Padma, me versus Quest. And we're just going to do a simple fried egg. You know, that's the first test.
Let's see who's really got it. Let's see who's really got the wrist action.
We're going to go bar to bar for bar on the non-stick 12-inch.
Yeah, it's a different kind of 12-inch, Quest.
It's a different kind of 12-inch.
Because I see, Quest, I see your ass is eating a lot. I can tell that, but I don't know if you're cooking a lot. You know what I'm saying, Jason?
That's right. He needs the Quest nutrition bar more so.
Yeah, we can. Let me stop at a 7-Eleven and get you some Quest and see if you know what I mean.
I'm going to be filled up with piss and vinegar and luscious duck fat coursing through my veins. It not only makes me a beast in the bedroom, but also in the ring.
Yeah, I think this is what it is. I think Philadelphia, it's Padma versus Roman is the warm up, and then the title fight is TJ versus Questlove. All you get is a hot plate and 2 eggs.
I don't like the racial optics of this lineup. Sure, yeah. So like you said, if you're in New York, you know, you were mentioning taking the train. You know, you can get the little Amtrak business class with the Sam Adams special edition. That's one way to do it. But if you're a real Philly head, you know, we need to take the Chinatown MegaBus.
Yep, nope, not for me.
Do a real big dog style. If you're a real Philly head, that's the way it goes down. And my real Philly heads know that.
I'm not a real Philly head. I won't be doing that. I think I'm more of a I would rather walk.
Chris, you never take the MegaBus to Philly?
I think the real Philly heads would actually get on their fixie and throw on their messenger bag from Chrome and ride over. That's what I think the real heads would do.
Hashtag no brakes, but I don't know. I mean, the legal implications of riding on the freeway, it's kind of tough.
That's a good point. But I mean, you could be coasting in and off cars, you know, because traffic's a little stop and go. You know,
I do have to drop off a few blueprints on the way just to make a little side scratch, of course.
Yeah, I got some legal papers I got to take. You know that office down. Yeah, you know which one. I got to stop there.
Yeah, I could actually get around downtown faster on 2 wheels than a car. I know it's kind of
that is crazy.
Hard to understand that, but it's true. So yeah, if you are if you are near New York and you did not act with the quickness to buy those tickets, visit those neighboring cities. There's some more tickets available. Otherwise, you know, maybe next time when we're hitting MSG Wavves and Wavves and Phoenix style, then you can come through. Who knows?
By the way, I just wanted the Wavves episode. Yeah. Also, after we finished the pod, he sent me a picture of his pallet bedroom in his parents' laundry room. He was not
for our listeners who did not listen to the episode with Wavves earlier this week. He mentioned during quarantine he moved back home with his parents in San Diego, took shelter in his parents' laundry room, and we thought that we believed him, but we thought he may have been exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But he sent us a photo of literally a twin mattress with a MacBook Pro sitting on it, in front of a washer and dryer in a small room, and that he really is living this shit.
And I appreciate that.
And I know that he is a listener of the show now, so no shots. We think it is amazing, and thank you for sharing that photo with us. But I do have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
How does this work with when you're trying to get your dick wet? How does this work when you're trying to pursue somebody romantically?
After years and years of independent touring, we know Wavves has got the Holiday Inn miles where he can check in to the local San Diego branch, but get it in and head back home and in time for dinner with mom and dad. No question.
Oh, God.
No question.
Okay, okay. Problem solved. That's how it goes down. Or but I guess when you kind of explain that situation to a partner and they are on board, because that could be a turnoff for some people of for
people who don't have the crypto vision, losers.
Yeah, you might have to show them the MetaMask wallet in order for things to progress sexually. Because if you just tell somebody, even just saying I sleep on a twin mattress on the floor, pussy and bussy gonna dry up.
No, hot guys, if you have a skateboard and you say that, you're beating. If you're a regular guy and you say that, but luckily Wavves does have a guitar, which is second to the skateboard.
You have to probably maybe FaceTime the business manager and do some screenshots of what the Roth IRA is hitting for, or
you can you can
see how much Tesla we've got. Or see how I have this CryptoPunk that's sitting at 380 right now. I could sell that right now and change your life. I'll sell my CryptoPunk and change your fucking life, Ryder Rip style.
We're overthinking this right now because the reality is that even though Wavves is obviously cash poor but very rich in other areas, he can play Wonderwall on an acoustic.
Say no more.
If you can serenade with the acoustic, you don't even need to show the crypto wallet.
That's true. You nail Wonderwall on the hot pink Jazzmaster.
Well, he's only able to fit a small Fender tube in the laundry room. So it's kind of like it's
the small Fender tube.
There's no room for the stack. There's no room for the Marshall.
He could be missing teeth and still land a 7 or an 8.
I wonder what song Wavves does, because it can't be one of your own. That's cheating unless you're John Mayer.
God, does John Mayer?
Yeah.
Has there ever been a situation where a Portuguese Victoria's Secret angel has been like, all right, I guess if we're gonna do this, you have to play.
If I'm in Montana and John Mayer's flown me out on the PJ and he plays slow dancing in a burning room on acoustic, I'm getting rug burn on my knees. And I don't even like dudes like that. You know what I mean? I don't even like fellas like that.
Okay.
John Mayer on the acoustic guitar 101 is just AKA start sucking.
It's a card that he doesn't love pulling out of his sleeve, but when it has to be done, it has to be done.
Yeah, well, the Visvim sleeves are billowing, so it's kind of tough for him to find it in there. But if he can find it, he's pulling
billowing.
It out. And that Martin acoustic is tuned. He might even have a 12-string if you're really bad.
Not the 12E.
Not 12E, not ASAP 12E. We're talking about a talented musician.
It's not about the notes you don't play, because on a 12E you have to play every note unless you have very tiny fingers.
It's a difficult instrument to master. I'm still working.
That one's for my axe slingers out there.
We talked about all the musicians today, Jason. Great pod.
Yeah, so in addition to our tour dates coming up, make sure that you cop a ticket. We're going to be talking about all kinds of new things that we're going to be filling in for each date. Obviously, there'll be a can of Gia and a Kale Caesar from Sweet Green under every person's name on the guest list. That is a given, and that is, obviously that is worth the ticket admission right there. But we'll be doing all kinds of other fun activations and guests and giveaways and freebies and cool fun things, in addition to a whole line of merchandise that will be available exclusively only at the show.
Yeah, we're fine. We finalized our selections. There's a whole slew. I would say it's a collection.
TJ's tech pack has been approved by upper management.
Upper management is me, and thank you to Ben Edgar for teaching Jason what a tech pack is.
I learned what a tech pack is. It's instead of using a picture of a hoodie, you use a crude outline drawing of a hoodie, and then that's how it gets going. Every color has a number assigned to it, and you have to let them know what that color is. See, that's not white. That's hashtag FFFFFF.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to How Long Gone. we're kicking off GQ week this week in a fun booking happy accident. We're looking at two guests that are at the top of the masthead of the Conde Nast behemoth known as Gentleman's Quarterly.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking celebrity profiles. We're going to be talking what's next. We're going to get a New York Fashion Week preview. It's going to be a fun one for us, Jason. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to teach a lot. It's kind of what How Long Gone is all about. We are, and Conde Nast PR, I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but this is strictly a campaign for us to make a digital cover, even if it's GQ Turkey. Like, we'll take it. I mean, well, we'll take it.
GQ Turkey.
I don't know how well we would do in Singapore, you know what I mean? But look, if it's an option, like, put me in, coach. We're ready to play.
GQ North Korea. We don't need to see G-Dragon again.
G-Dragon can't be on the cover of every issue. You have to switch. You have to switch it up at some point, and we're available. And you know what? We could cover the costs. You know, if there were some associated costs, we're fine with that. We're pretty cash rich right now. So
you have to pay to play in this industry.
Exactly. How Long Gone? Get your tickets now wherever tickets are sold. They're available all on our website, howlonggone.com. We're back with more podcasts next week. And Jason, I want you to enjoy your Sunday.
Congrats.
Hey, yeah, watch it bouncing on the ground. Got my edges sweating now. Turn it up extra loud. Yeah, tonight we stepping out. Been a minute since I found someone who could hold it down. What you really talking about? I've been sending dirty pics, hope they make it to the cloud. Watch it bouncing on the ground. Got my edges sweating now. Bouncing on the ground. Bouncing on the ground.